multi-famous talent. What? Man with 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 multi-famous talent. What?
this was an institution started in the year 1997. Started with only engineering, including we are regular recruitment, engineering, MBA, MSc, MCA, MScs and all that. So being accredited by UGC, Association of Indian University, in fact, MBA, NAC, this was an institution started in the year 1997, New Delhi. Started with only engineering, received Best University Award, including we are regular recruitment, Asia, MBA, MSc, MCA, 2020, awarded at Vigyan. Being accredited by UGC, Thank you, Association of Indian University. In fact, MBA, this was an institution started in the year 1997. Atal ranking started with only engineering. Received Best University Award in Asia, MBA. Received award from Association Kolkata for Best awarded at Vigyan. Being accredited by UGC. Thank you, Association of Indian University. In fact, MBA, this was an institution started in the year 1997. Atal ranking started with only engineering. Received Best University Award in Asia, received award from Association Kolkata Bharat awarded at Vigyan. Being accredited by UGC, we have Thank you, Association of Indian University. In fact, MBA, this was an institution started in the year 1997. Atal ranking started with only engineering. Received Best University Award in Asia, received award from Association Kolkata Bharat awarded at Vigyan. Being accredited by UGC, we have Thank you, Association of Indian University. In fact, MBA, this was an institution started in the year 1997. Having 12 BTech attendance, started with only engineering. Received Best University Award in Asia, received award from Association Kolkata Bharat awarded at Vigyan. Being accredited by UGC, we have strong community. In fact, MBA, this was an institution started in the year 1997. Having 12 BTech attendance, started with only engineering. Received Best University Award in Asia, received award from Association Kolkata Bharat awarded at Vigyan. Being accredited by UGC, we have strong community. In fact, MBA, this was an institution started in the year 1997. Having 12 BTech attendance, started with only engineering. Received Best University Award in Asia, received award from Association Kolkata Bharat awarded at Vigyan. Being accredited by UGC, we have strong community. In fact, MBA, this was an institution started in the year 1997. Having 12 BTech attendance, started with only engineering. Received Best University Award in Asia, received award from Association Kolkata Bharat awarded at Vigyan. Being accredited by UGC, we have strong community. In fact, MBA, this was an institution started in the year 1997. Having 12 BTech attendance, started with only engineering. Received Best University Award in
Thank you, sir, for regards. I
You are a man of
student who are going to be
person who
leaders
is
of tomorrow.
behind of
And
all the heart.
yes, we are going to talk on very common
might
topic,
be
but this
present,
common
might not be
topic
present,
need
but your thought, your vision is
refresher
always there
kind of
whenever we
course,
are
almost
into
every day
areas.
in
We
today's
are really
scenario,
honored to have
because
you
we
all.
don't know what's going to
That
happen
you
tomorrow,
are
because we don't know what's going to be
I
needed
would
tomorrow.
like to give
Yes,
my
I
once
wanted
again
this to be more
hearty
interactive.
thank
Keep typing
to
in chat box,
respected Vice Chancellor Sir
keep
Gautam Ghosh
sharing
sir,
your
Professor
input
Dr.
whenever
Gautam
we
Ghosh
are
sir.
talking, each
And
speaker is
once
speaking.
again,
So thanks
I
once
was
again,
means it is very
GIT
unfortunate
University
that
giving
we
us the
never
opportunity.
got
Thanks
August.
Arun, Shantanu, Sanjeev. Unfortunately, Sitaram couldn't join because of medical emergency, which he informed me even yesterday. His son not keeping well, and he said, in case medical attention needed, so he may not be able to join, and which that happened. I told him that medical emergency is most important. We all know, because which kind of scenario, which kind of situation we are all into. So once again, thank you so much. And yes, let's start the panel discussion. We are going to have it in a 3 format. Let me set up the agenda, and this is going to be for next almost now. We set up for 90 minutes, which is going to be for now 60 to 70 minutes now. And this is going to be in 3 rounds. Initial, there will be overview from each speaker on the topic, which will be not more than 3 minutes. And then the second round would be one-on-one question to each speaker, and third round would be open for a Q&A. We will have more time because Sitaram is not there, so we will have more time. We will convert that time into more of open Q&A. We will have more of interaction. So I will request the student to ask as many as question. Don't be afraid asking any kind of question. Okay, and don't also think that we can answer all the question. Okay, we are equally impacted like you. We are equally affected like you. Okay, because everybody is working from home. Like for example, Prime Minister, each country, celebrity, sports player, mother, father, parents, teacher, university, student, your kid, right? So every type of people and generation as part of this pandemic. Um, so whatever expertise we have, we will share. Uh, Topic as we said, this is about the job opportunity and future required skills. Yes, what has happened, COVID has impacted a lot of people, especially the university, the campus offer. But India is going very fast, and most of the company is still able to retain the campus offer. There are some which are being impacted, but future is bright because there are a lot of localization happening, local industries shaping up. We have seen all the news, right? And India is the population of young population, and India is the country of young population, and a lot of jobs anyway coming in. Even in the pandemic, there are a lot of companies who are giving increment. They are still recruiting. They are changing their business model. So when they are changing the business model, they are still recruiting. Which kind of people, which kind of skills needed? That's what we are going to just discuss. This is based on all the panelist experience and my experience we will share. Okay, to large extent, which may be appropriate, and we'll try to contribute as much as we can. So let's begin here. I will go the sequence wise. So Arun, Sanjeev, and then Shantanu. Since Sitaram is not there, so Arun, Sanjeev, and Shantanu, one by one, they will give their overview on the topic, not more than 3 minutes. Then we'll go to second round. Let me hand over to Arun. Arun is from Ericsson. He is based in Kolkata. Arun, if you like to add anything in your portfolio, please do that, because there are some of the achievements we may not be knowing. Feel free to share. Yeah.
Okay, I think no, that's absolutely fine. Thank you so much, Ashish. Am I audible, right? Fully audible and visible to all of you. Am I?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yes.
yeah. Carry on.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, before we start, thanks once again, Dr. Mishra and Dr. Rao. And then, of course, thanks to the fellow speakers. And of course, students, it's always a great opportunity to be with all of you, to share whatever perspectives or reflections that we are acquiring from the industry, from our day-to-day experience. It's nice to bring that before you. Of course, many things are already known to you, as Ash mentioned. So to add the perspective, to talk on the topic, I believe from my side, it's an unprecedented situation. We all know that, right? As an organization, the company where I work with, it's into telecommunication. Ericsson, it's a Swedish company. I'm associated with this company for almost now 15 years. Before that, I had spent some time in automobile industry. I was with Sumitomo for some time, and then I was with Blue Star, which is into air conditioning. So some industry changes have happened with me, and then, but last 15 years, almost 1.5 decade with telecommunication. Telecommunication also has gone hand in hand with IT. But the recent disruptions probably have touched everyone, right? I think it has disrupted or it has disturbed everyone, but it has also brought a lot of opportunities. There has been new learnings. There has been new way of life, right? The new normal that we all have spoken about. And going forward, the new normal, to some extent, it will exist, even if the vaccine comes or life changes in the next 5 6 months, 1 year, I don't know. But then still the new learnings, that will be there with all of us. Now, how the organizations are handling this at an overall level, I only can give my reflections. A lot of things will be depending upon the leaders of an organization. There are different layers. There are employees, there are managers, there are top end leaders. So a lot of things will be, success will be depending upon the leaders, as they will be working as the main driving force behind our organizational performance. Because when you talk from your interest perspective, that whether you will get a good job in the market tomorrow or not, you need to understand that all organizations today are striving for survival. Some of them are doing very good. At the same time, some of them are doing moderately well, and some of them are struggling. But end of the day, everybody wants to ensure that they're profitable. Profitable their outcomes that they decide for themselves. That's very, very important. And accordingly, they're setting their priorities. So the resources that they have with them, the kind of important, the most important is people, of course. I believe so that way. The technology or the financial platforms that they have, the stability that they have, they're trying to utilize all of these. They're learning every moment. But then they're also setting priorities. And in everything, leaders are playing a very, very important role. So therefore, that's important. It's also very important for the organizations, at least from my perspective. I believe that we need to once again prioritize our values. Like every individual or like every family, organizations also have their set values. They have their visions, what they want to achieve in the long run. Values are some things which help them to stick to the ethics. Values help an organization to take decisions, because there are n number of decisions a company takes. And if the values are clear, that's applicable to an individual, that's applicable to a student or a professor or the parents or a society or even a company. If the values are set, then it helps the leaders to take decisions, and it helps the leaders to inspire others, and of course ensure that the growth happens, and along with well-being of our people. Now, you are going to face challenges, but then that's a huge opportunity for you to learn, to have an eye on exactly how the world is changing, how it is taking shape, and the shape is changing completely. Different sectors are behaving in different ways. But then these are some of the very basics that I believe we should have with us, which will help us to see the world of future. We will talk more on that. Little bit of topsy-turvy condition right now, but then it also comes with a lot of opportunities, and leadership would be very, very important. Ashish, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Arun. Thanks for wonderful opening remarks. So, yes, values, leadership, challenges. So challenges are always there, everyone, all the students. But you don't need to take a lot of pressure that, this challenges is something like which, nobody has seen, everybody has seen. And these are the similar challenges which everyone faces every year. Okay. It's just time to reboot. When your system not working, you just switch off, then reboot. Your vehicle not working, you check what's happening, and also those kind of things in a simple way. I'm just relating. Let me go to the next one. So here is the Sandeep. Sanjeev is from Mumbai. Sanjeev, over to you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Dr. Rao, Dr. Mishra. It's a wonderful opportunity, and my fellow panelists. It's really privileged to be sharing the panel with all of you. Wonderful Saturday morning, and what best can it be just before Diwali to talk to the students? And as I was just making a mention on a very light note, that whenever you talk to the students, and that too from the eastern part of India, where I also hail from, definitely there's a lot of nostalgia that plays in the mind, particularly when we talk of the industry, when we talk of the university or the campus. Oh man, I can't share that on the public forum. Jokes apart. It's an amazing, it's indeed an amazing opportunity, and thank you, Arun, to have set the foundation of the talk. With the values and ethics, because that is what has been put to a lot of testify made during these times, and the companies or the organizations who have that, strongly, a very strong relation to those values and foundations. I am sure they have stood apart much different than others. At the same time, I just want to leave with just a couple of concepts which during these couple of months also, I've been reflecting on now. But just before going that, bear with me for 30 seconds to introduce my organization to you. GRP Limited started in 1974. We are in the 47th year right now, and we are into the business of sustainability. We are maybe the largest rubber recycler in the world. Definitely in the country and in the continent. I am fully aware of my friends in China, but however, the scale at which we operate and the downstream that we serve is a little different from others. why I'm saying this is particularly because in a recycling industry, the most important for us is our supply chain. Yeah. If I do not get a tire which has been thrown away and has been picked up by a rat picker in some part of the country or the world, and that changes lots of hands and comes into my machines, my business will not work. Very clear. Yeah. This opportunity has given us. I mean, this last couple of months have given us an enormous opportunity to work really with them. Honestly speaking, in my earlier stints in telecom, so I started my life with with BSNL. Thereafter became Tata Communications. 14 years of that. So I passed my professional school from there. Thereafter moved into trading, distribution, into Tata International, passing through a few parts of the world, and back to Mumbai. The point which made me to take this career decision to move into this organization after leaving the Tata Group, and I face this question every time, is that why? And only word that I can say is purpose and the values, and that is what probably drives each one of us, and that has a very strong relation to what we are going to talk today. So everybody, welcome to the Now of Work. It is not my statement. I was attending one People Matters conference a couple of months ago, and there was a gentleman from Canada who had said that we have been, and quote him, that we have been talking about the future of work for ages. This is the now of work. Okay, so we have actually been airdropped into the future, from the future to the now, maybe over the last couple of months, or the day we went on for lockdown. What has changed? So this entire situation, and I'm sure my student friends will all know that the term VUCA, VUCA has been, we have been talking about it, studying about it, but this has really, we faced it like a bouncer in cricket. Very, very certain. So the environment around is definitely volatile, it is uncertain, it is complex, and it is ambiguous. All of us are struggling to find our feet in this, not only us, each and every country. The country leadership, the industries, the economists, and the medical profession, and common man like you and I, right? What I found very interesting in this, that okay, if VUCA has come up, and we have been thrown into that ocean, maybe we too have a lifeboat, and this lifeboat was suggested in 2016 by a group led by Professor Satar Bone, and it's a very common term, LEAP. I really find it very, very interesting. Wanted the opportunity to share that with all of you. So what does LEAP mean? Liberal, open in thoughts, exuberant means being energetic. Let's not let the demon of despair come upon us. Agility, very quick to adapt to the situations and change the course when need be. And most importantly, and this is where I would also want my student friends to ponder a bit on, is partnership. We individuals, organizations, individuals cannot really do as much, but a collaborative effort to fight the crisis will do. Something that is actually taking storm on social media is an advertisement from Burger King actually promoting McDonald's. Yeah, and so on and so forth. In all our situations, we are seeing the industry forums have come together. Even for us in our organization, in our sustainability sectors, the competition has suddenly become comparators. We come together. So from competition to collaboration to find the best part of it. What does it mean to us? I was attending another industry forum the other day. What came to us straight away, and maybe I'm just intruding a little bit into what we are going to talk, but just to set the context, is maybe there's this concept that has been floated by an organization which says that what is going to help us ensure that we are on our leap to get out of VUCA, and what they are saying is important for each one of us to follow this concept called STILL, still. S, strength. We have to play to our strength, not on what's going, what we need to develop on. That is important, but it is focusing on our strengths is going to probably lead us to the way. We have to be absolutely open to trials. we don't have all the answers right away in on the books. I is Ikigai, a concept very well pondered upon, being discussed a couple of these days. But most importantly, find your purpose. Ask yourself. Let us ask ourselves on why. Why are we here? What do we want to do? Languages and communication is going to be the key, because most of us are actually working remote. The luxury of sitting with each other, maybe spending some time together, understanding each other's body language, is a little challenge in this current forum. And most importantly, the limits in our thoughts can only limit our progress. So therefore, let us really have a very, very, very open mind. Wanted to share this to start with, and over to you, Ashish. Look forward to a very, very interactive session today.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sanjeev. So I did ask, what is the full form of VUCA, and almost everybody has given, that. Okay, so I hope they know the full form and they know how they can handle VUCA. That's another most important thing. Yes, so we will come to the point where how to handle all this, which is VUCA, or you talk about the Nawa of work. Actually, it's for some of the people, it's actually work, which many of us were looking for.
Yeah.
Huh? Yes. So thanks, Sanjeev and Arun, and I was fortunate to share the stage with both of you just before the COVID started. Sanjeev, we had a session in month of March. Yeah, that was in Mumbai just before COVID actually. And Arun, if you remember, we had a session in Kolkata. That was in month of February. Yeah, with another institute. Okay, great. So I still have those memories. Shantanu, good to see you. Now over to you. Shantanu is from Kolkata.
Thanks, Ashish, and thank you for this opportunity which this university has given. Am I audible? Clear?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
And thanks to Dr. Rao and Dr. Mishra, Sanjay, thank you. And really love this opportunity to interact with Arun and Sanjeev, my fellow panelists, and missing Sitaram as we are not able to have him here today. And welcome my friends, students. I think it brings back to my remembrance of my college days, which almost ended about 35 years ago in 1985. So that way I'm a vintage, and maybe really not from this generation. So they talk about generation gap and generation changes. So I am not even, I think, generation X and before that. So generation X, as they call it, is from 65 to 80. Generation Y is 81 to 96. And current is generation Z. So much of generational change, and basically the thought process change. What changes over the generation is the thought process change. So today when I speak to my son, which is of course just like the students, a lot of things he would not agree, and he would challenge me, and he would pass a comment that, I think these things are obsolete now, So I'm pretty happy that I am able to communicate to you through this Google Meet and all these things, because this is like, something that we have to pick up. And hardly when we were growing up, these things were not there, leave alone internet. Even my younger generation, I still remember when India used to play West Indies, I used to put my ears to the radios, forget TVs. TV is something that maybe 1 in 10 houses was having in maybe 80s. So current generation, I don't think they can even imagine what we have gone through. Similarly, I can't imagine what they are going through. Like when my next door neighbor, he is a 10 years boy, I go to morning walk with him, and that's the way I keep myself young. Today, when I told him that I'm going to have a Google Meet, and normally, you have so many things, Zoom, and my office was given Teams because they think that we should not go to Zoom and Google and all these things. It may not be safe. So this young boy of 10 was telling me, you give me that and I will set it up. And what you can do is you can speak to the computer and put your screen onto your new TV that you have bought some 1 year ago. And because that's a Wi-Fi TV and things like that, and the screen, you can see it in a bigger screen. I said, hang on, you don't have to teach me all that. I want to still talk to the computer. So what I'm trying to tell you is change is the only constant. And even at this age, we are learning. So I'm sure the students that, and I was really, thanks Sanjeev for mentioning VUCA, and Ashish very smartly asking the question back to the student saying that can you tell it, and I can see 5 or 6 of them immediately talked about VUCA. And my God, this is what really impresses me, because at our age, when I was graduating, had you asked me something like this, I think we would have said, no, sorry, we are not aware. We have to yet to learn this because we have not gone into the industry. So those kind of things has changed, and it is really, we are speaking to the smart people, internet age people. They all know maybe more than me, the technology. I don't have to teach them. So I think very nicely way Arun and Sanjeev, both of you have brought the topic, saying that how these changes and how each one of your organization is sort of taking care of these changes, keeping in mind the values and ethics that, of course, is the core of any individual, family, society, and so as to say the company. Because company is nothing but an extended family. Because that's where we get our, living from. So I really do not consider company as something different. For me, it is my family. And the same thing I teach or I preach in my office, in my teams, typically my HR and admin team, that hey guys, don't ask me. I will superannuate maybe another 2 years' time. Ask yourself, if this was in your family, what you would have done. And I'm sure you will get an answer. What you can do is you can cross-check that answer with me, and maybe 80% of the time, your answer will be the right answer. Be it on cost cutting, be it on what do you do, because I think we all the panelists are from HR, so you all know that a lot of times we get this question, what do we do in this particular situation? Considering some employee, some issue, some case, and what we do typically is, I think, the act of caring and daring. Because employee in HR has to be caring. But as you know, all caring will spoil a child. Like the same thing we do for our kids, my caring, again, family is the same thing there in the office. So you dare your child sometimes. I don't think every time he asks for everything, you give it to him. Or every time he does a mistake, you forgive. Sometimes you tell him to reflect and come back to you saying that what is his learning. Okay, this first time I am okay with your mistake, but tell me what did you learn? So I think the same thing works in the office. And as I think I need to also give you a little bit about MAN, because I don't think a lot of people would not know about what MAN is. It's a French organization. We are in a very lovely industry. It's flavors and fragrance. So what we make is what you typically taste and smell. I don't make your food, but your food is made tastier by some flavors. Like there's a tomato tangy masala noodles. So masala noodles is made by someone, but the tangy masala is made by us. or you use your fragrances, and today fragrances is everywhere. It is not only on perfume, it's on soap, shampoo, aftershave, anything that you can think of. We can't think of anything new which doesn't have a fragrance. Even your dishwasher has a fragrance, lemon. So we make that fragrance, we make that flavor, we make that color. See, when we were again, my always things go back and forth in generations. Like, I had grown up at a time when a ice with a colored thing was ice cream. Those boxes used to go 10 rupees outside the school, and that was the best thing you could have at that point in time. Today, our kids and these young students will go to Baskin Robbins and they will have, mango and, lychee, and that must have that color of lychee or the color of green mango and the taste of mango and things like that. So thanks, guys. You all enjoy that and we make more profit. And we try to dare you to say that what more you want. And every day there's an R&D that's going on to say that what else we can give to you. Like today you have a biscuit with a liquid-filled chocolate inside it. I'm sure the concept has been taken because all of us are from the eastern side. Ashish, I will tell you, there's one kind of a sandesh which used to be eastern delicacy where you used to have, and it is making Sanjeev really nostalgic, I can see him, with little gold gel into it, so it was liquid inside the sandesh. And ITC took that concept and created a biscuit where, of course, we were basically the brain behind it and told them how a solid biscuit can hold liquid chocolate inside it. So with that, I think I want to share that change is the only constant, and maybe we needed this disruption to really enhance the way. I don't always see this as a problem because anything that changes, I think, brings about a SWOT with it. And Ashish, this is the good time for you to check with them if they understand SWOT. So what is SWOT? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So problem is that can we see what is the opportunity in every change, every disruption? And I'll tell you, various companies have taken this wonderful change or disruption in a wonderful way. I think TCS has already said that, I will not hire officers and I will reduce my offices. So what they have done, they have taken fantastic advantage of cutting down their costs and thereby not penalizing the employee because of the disruption. I will not pay you increments. So the point is how you can channelize your money. You have basically everything runs on that. What in MBA we have been taught, man, machine, money and everything. So resources are definitely in crunch every time. How you make an effective utilization of your resources makes you profitable. And I am sure a lot of, even my HR fellow colleagues here, a lot of times HR was struggling to make a lot of HRIS systems. This has given them a fantastic opportunity to move on this area leaps and bounds. My HR system today is completely paperless. Of course, I never had to wait for this. I had always been an ardent follower saying that, of course, I am from before Gen X, but I wanted IT to be my forefront in the HR systems. So all my HR systems, and now currently the most troublesome HR system, which is recruitment, I'm trying to even put it in the software. So changes are there, disruption is there, but how can we make it into an opportunity is something that we have to see. And going forward also, I really, when this really stuck in the initial days when Modi came on the TV and said, what is that, Janta curfew? I think the first day was Janta curfew. And first 4 or 5 days, I was really thinking that we are watching some 2050 sci-fi movie. You know, everything is happening like you could see in a Hollywood movie, you know. We will talk, we'll transport, we'll do, but my work will continue. So, though I am based out of Mumbai, because of course I must little bit continue with my company. We have 4 companies under MAN umbrella in India, 4 different legal entities. Someone based in Cochin, so it's like 4 CEOs, 4 head of HRs, one based out of Kochi, one in Hyderabad, one in Tirupati, one in Bangalore, and nothing in Bombay. But the corporate office is in Bombay, and I sit in Bombay, where all my head HRs report to me on functional this thing, and they report to the CEOs locally in an operational manner. So from I think before that holy time, I think 9th or 10th was March was a holy, and I had come to Calcutta for my holy holidays and took about 3 or 4 days off, and I used to go back. But then my friend chairman was to come to India on 15th March, and that is the day, I think 13th or 14th March, the Emirates cancelled their flight, saying that, you know, nothing will come in. And I have not moved out of my house in Calcutta since then, although my official location of place is Mumbai. And I have been operating ever since from Calcutta. So, you know, I don't think it was possible even 5 months ago. 5 months ago, in the sense, before the lockdown 5 months ago. Nobody could have thought of. And my job used to be like, you know, 18 days of travel. Because as I told you, I am in so many places. Plus, I manage Sri Lanka, and then I need to go to France also every quarter kind of stuff. So, all stalled. And now France is going through the second wave, as all of you know. So, we are really scared that, and they're more scared than us, because I think we are little virus. we can attack, you know, even Mumbai, that Dharavi could not, you know, put them into a lot of trouble. Of course, Maharashtra did the highest score of so far, but I am sure that, you know, given the India population of more than about 138 crores people, I think what we have seen as numbers is peanuts. As we know, percentage-wise, we are almost at the lowest of lowest levels. So with that, I would think the worst, because 2019 was also not a good year for campuses, as I would understand, nothing was happening. But I see the quite green everywhere now, because of China, and there are a lot of companies coming up here. Already manufacturing is booming. Tesla is again talking about putting up here. I think many companies, iPhones, everywhere. You know, so I'm sure manufacturing is going to grow to the roof. IT, surely, I think there's no end to IT. I think IT will definitely boom. And there are many others, like, you know, of course, maybe travel and hospitality may be not doing so well, but think about online retail. Think about logistics. Think about the Swiggy, Zomatos, and things like that. So everything is booming. See, India was always, you know, like this 90s and 2000 initial decade was the time of the services. But I strongly believe the time for manufacturing has come back, which was India's pride at one point. And this 2020 decade, this decade is going to be in manufacturing. So I would definitely think things are going to look for the brighter this thing. What we need to do is, I think, as Sanjeev pointed out on languages, I too really think that we need to talk about communication skills, that to oral and written, because a lot of times I have seen that when people just graduate out of engineering or science or whatever, what we really need is, because we don't really give much weightage, you know, it is something to do with our education system. When we, you know, 10th, 12th, you think about your kids, you talk about, okay, guy is science or commerce. What about languages? वो तो सिर्फ pass होना है, you know, that's the kind of thing, you know, there is no focus that Let's say, how many of you really do attend English classes or Hindi classes in your schools? You know, those classes are to bunk and go to a private tuition to study science. So I think those are the things: presentation skills, communication skills. There are enough ways to improve this, like you have Toastmasters, or communicate amongst yourself. So there are various ways. And above all, I think reflect on what's happening, what am I doing, what are my strengths, and personal SWOT analysis. What is my strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat? I think as long as students, you start doing this early, I think there is no limit. As Sanjeev says, sky is the limit. I really have another sentence: no sky, nothing, you are the limit of yourself. Thanks, Ashish. Thanks to the student. Back to you, Ashish.
Thank you, Shantanu, for a great opening. Yes, you said SWOT is very important, and I think many of the students know because
Not able to hear you, Ashish.
You can hear me.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we can hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, SWOT is very much important, and student also know what is the SWOT. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So yes, in every situation, wherever there is a crisis, wherever there is an opportunity, people need to understand first of all, what they are good into, what they are not good into. So thank you, Shantanu, to bring up this point. I like that statement you made in the end: is you are the limit, forget the sky. Yeah, forget the ground, forget the forest. You are the limit. Great. So taking a cue from Shantanu, I go to Arun here. So Arun, Shantanu did touch upon which kind of sector will be booming, which kind of sector are down or going to be down even in coming time. So I want you to share some more detail on that. Which sector, according to you, will be recruiting more pressure during COVID, post COVID. You also touch upon sector is okay, but which kind of job will be created, because there are some of the job which are being eliminated. Instead of that, there are new jobs created, because based on the job, then student will be able to come up with the capabilities, work on the capabilities. University will work on that. Teachers, professor, institute. So entire ecosystem of education actually need to be looked into from the which kind of jobs rather than industry. Industry is okay to large extent. Over to you, Arun.
Okay. Really enjoying the discussion. And of course, thank you, Sanjeev and Shantanu, for adding your perspectives as well. And I'm very happy to see that the students are participating quite much. It seems that you're a great bunch of lads. And then, of course, I was going through some of the comments. We'll mention that. Pretty much liked it. Now, to answer the question, Ashish, let me try to think a little bit and then add my thoughts. I think job skills and competencies, these are a must in today's employment scenario. Even for future, it has been in past, it will be in future as well. If you are not skilled, telling to the students, if you're not skilled, then your chances of getting a job is going to be minimized. It's going to be diminished. But it's very important for you then to understand that what kind of job skills and what kind of competencies that you will develop. Technical competencies, soft skills. Sanjeev, I remember you mentioned about communication. Of course, communication, language, that will remain ever important, because more and more we see disruptions, more and more we see challenges in front of us. It's very important to communicate, learn, talk to each other, right? Exchange communication and thoughts. Even when you do, if you believe in still, or if you believe in SWOT analysis for yourself as well as for your environment that you're living in, it's very important that you first communicate to yourself. You tell yourself what you need to do. You define your purpose, your goal, your ambition. Very importantly, you define your systems, right? That's very important. And I'll talk a little bit more about that also. But it's very important to get a command on language and communication. But at the same time, we are living in an uncertain world. And since there is a lot of uncertainty we are seeing, there's a lot of changes and disruptions are happening in the market in different sectors. So therefore, the job roles are also changing, right? And there's no doubt in my mind that several jobs are losing out because of technology, right? And there was an interesting discussion going on in the chat box as well. But then, how does one prepare for jobs, or especially the freshers, in the future? Or how do you ensure that your job skills are going to stay relevant for next maybe 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years down the line? Very important, very important. Mm, in my view, one must understand that the jobs of today that will change due to technology, and only, by the way, only technology can change a human job, right? Because artificial intelligence is coming in big way. It's already there. We are talking a lot about 5G, especially the industry I come from, the Internet of Things, or 5G. That's making a huge changes in our lives, and it's taking over jobs in various sectors. And it is actually reducing work. But then, what kind of work it is reducing? It's very important for us to know. It's reducing the repetitive work. The work which is being done today by human being, which is being repeated constantly, technology is able to take care of that. In the future, um, in my view, the human interventions will be only required only for the things that machines cannot do. So if you have to manage, if you have to throw your empathy and humanness in some place, if you have to take care of your people, the employees that are working with you, if you have to take care of your values, again, we are talking about values. So something which is repetitive in nature, technology can change it. So today, even the coders, different types of codings are not required in the company, because by using artificial intelligence, by using AI, you can actually do that. Just a few minutes back, I think Shantanu was talking about the hiring. So when the recruitment happens in our company, recently it's happening. Uh, Sometimes we hire people, of similar nature, right? Or maybe of different nature. I'm just giving an example. Maybe I have 200 positions in 1 week. All of a sudden, 200 positions approved because we have got certain projects to be delivered in US or Europe or Middle East or Africa, and then we have to quickly hire some 150 odd people in say next 6 weeks or next 8 weeks. Earlier, what used to happen, for hiring such 150 people or 200 people, you need to create job requisition, and there's a team of 2 to 3 people who are sitting down and then creating those job requisitions, putting them on the net, right, making them available in the right portal, and taking time. Some 3-4 days will go, so that's a buffer that we know that is going to happen. Right now, within 2 hours, all those job requisitions, starting from the decision to the execution, they're all in place. And they're all in place because it's a repetitive type of job. There are a few changes there. Those changes, once inserted in the system, the AI can take care of it. Within 2 hours, our HR team, our talent acquisition team is having the requisition from business that, hey guys, we discussed yesterday night that we are going to see some 200 positions. Here you have those 200 job requisitions today morning at 10 a.m. Start working on that. Earlier, it used to take time, but and 4 people used to work on those job requisitions. Nobody is working on that right now. So there are changes. There are n number of differences. When I start from my office, I send a message, a short code to a certain number, and my coffee is ready when I reach home in 40 minutes time. And there is no one. My wife is doing some shopping outside, and my coffee is ready. When I open my door, I get inside my flat, I get my coffee ready, hot coffee ready in 35 to 40 minutes. That's my driving time back home. So things are changing, and then things are going to change. But then, yes, human. Some of you, I think Adil mentioned that, or Sanskruti, or Shruti, or I think Ashwin, they all mentioned about it. That some portion of humanness, of course, will remain there. It's very important. So some job can change, but some job still can be there. I think the 3 industries, in my view, 2 or 3, yeah, I think 3 industries, in my view, is still doing well during COVID times. And of course, there can be many more. There can be many more. But then my reflection says that one is the e-commerce business. Since we have reduced the physical interactions, stopped going to grocery market, or stopped going to purchase our apparels, or many other household needs that you have in your day-to-day life. Even if you are, I'm sure you guys are much more technology savvy than us, but then we have started banking heavily on e-commerce and buying things online, right? If you look different reports, I was going through that a couple of days back, right? Famous companies like Flipkart or Amazon's, they have seen 40 to 50% of growth in their business due to this new normal which has come in place, and it is definitely needed. It will translate into different types of requirements at different layers, various layers. So that is one business which comes in my mind. Second is definitely there is a huge focus on the healthcare business, because right now the whole world is facing a health issue, and when you talk about the health, you talk about your social, mental, physical well-being. You definitely are more careful about taking care of your health. People are working from home for last 7 or 8 months. The exercises are stopped, the regular driving skills are stopped. You have no opportunity to go outside to spend a happy weekend with your family or friends outside your home, right? You're not easily going to see a movie in the movie hall. A lot of things. You have many people have stopped doing exercises as well. As a result of that, plus the associated other ailments that human body may have, that's resulting into more complexities, right? We are also seeing that we are going through a human anxiety or a huge amount of stress. That's also important. So people are taking care of their health. People are going more to the bodies or the doctors or the institutes or the hospitals or clinics to check themselves. So healthcare, medical insurances, this is one area which is going to definitely take a precedence, definitely going to make some importance going forward, and that would remain. That would hire new people as well. And last but not the least, very very important, right? Information communication and technology. So the ICT industry, the IT and telecom, or the communication industry for that matter, is definitely going to play a havoc. It's already doing, right? Do you know? Telecom organizations, the way, of course, the roaming, international roaming has been stopped in last few months, but then still, since the physical interactions have been very, very less, it has resulted into a lot of online stuff, right? All the interactions right now, the interactions that we're having in normal conditions, maybe 1 year back or maybe 1 year down the line, maybe we will do it in some different way. Maybe we will travel to your university and then we will sit in front of you. But then currently, the situation is totally, totally different. And because of that, organizations are putting a lot of focus on strengthening their current platform. There are new stuff which are coming. Microsoft Teams, I did not hear about it 2 years back, right? Right now, I'm using it day in, day out, and of course, there's Zoom and Google Meet, and then all kind of stuff, Skype, Business Skype, etc. So things are changing. Things are changing. Online classes, online education, office work, etc. And for that, IT and telecom, which definitely now go hand in hand. I handle within Ericsson. I handle the IT wing for India and China. So I'm in and out with all the engineers, the leaders, the managers, the way the people are driving businesses. It's going to be very, very important, and then it's going to remain very relevant. So these are the three immediate sectors which come in my mind. And when you talk about what kind of qualities, I would say qualities, skills, of course, can be developed, but what kind of qualities would be looked at by different industries when you are going to face it post COVID, right? Because I think many of you, almost all of you, will go out in a year or a couple of years time in the market, and they will start look for job opportunities. Nothing to be worried about, but you can prepare yourselves because you know it very well, and you know it. You are lucky because you know it when you are still preparing for it, right? I think for any company to remain profitable, maintaining its values, remain profitable, it's very important to ensure that the company does the right execution. Whatever you have promised, whatever you have committed to your customers, to the society, to your people, to your employees, you need to remain committed, and then execution is very, very important. So therefore, a speedy execution will be very, very essential. That will be important. Second is that in order to do execution, you have to strategize, you have to plan, you have to take decisions. Sometimes your decisions, because we are going through an unprecedented and challenging time, it's very important that you take a lot of courageous and bold decisions. But then where from the decisions will come? The decisions will come from facts, right? Experiences, information, database. It's very important, therefore, for you guys to prepare accordingly. And it's very important that you understand that fact-based courageous decisions or fact-based bold decisions are going to be the talk of the town tomorrow, when organizations will be recruiting you, it will be very essential. So you may be a techie, you may be an MBA who would be kind of developing his or her career in different way. But then what remains also important according to my view is empathy and humanness, because that's the people part, that's the human part, right? This will not be replaced by any automation or technology. Empathy and humanness is extremely important when you are working in a team, when you are collaborating with people, when you are talking to your higher ups, when you are looking at your juniors. It's very essential that you fostering your empathy for different perspectives, that would be approaches, and our overall humanness, that will be very important for you to succeed in life, get success in life. That's very essential. So these are all the qualities. I mean, you talk about execution, speed, you talk about empathy, humanness, you talk about facts, and taking decisions. These are something that you need to practice besides having all the technical skills, English communication, all those kind of stuff, your IT skills, etc., etc. Two more things which come in my mind, and then I stop. One is very important as of now, that as an engineer, you are not going to alone resolve it, or as an MBA fresh graduate, you will not be able to alone solve a problem which will be given to you. You have to you have to get into discussions and communication with many people who are your colleagues, many departments. So therefore, cooperation and collaboration mindset will be very important. Your individual brilliance will be important. But having said that, when you talk about driving a journey as an organization, when you are part of that organization, part of that family, part of that institution, there are a lot of other people who will be sharing their time and effort along with you. So cooperation and collaboration, you need to be mindful about. And definitely what Shantanu mentioned, it's important to speak up. It's important to challenge the way things have happened. So you will be, and more, you are the new generation, the newest generation. You are going to be part of an environment which will definitely ask and ensure a speak up environment. Companies are, the progressive companies, good companies are these days, they're encouraging a lot from their employees to speak up, to say what they're liking and what they're not liking. And especially, we are not getting the opportunities of meeting everybody on day out. So therefore, as a manager, as a leader, it's important that whenever I hear some of my team members' voice, I hear them, what they're exactly feeling. If I'm doing something wrong, or if the organization is taking certain wrong steps, or something which is not liked by them, it's important that they speak up. Speak up does not mean debate or quarreling. Speak up means it's to be done in a very professional way. So learn how to professionally raise your hand and say that, sir or ma'am, I understand what you're saying, but can I share a different opinion about it? I have a different thoughts. Believe me, world is going to appreciate you for that. So there are a few qualities which I just thought I'll whatever came in my mind. I was not fully prepared, but then whatever came in my mind from the reflections, that's important for me to share with all of you. Industries we have spoken about, there can be many more, of course. Some of them are not doing well, and some of them are going to survive tomorrow. But very important. Again, I think Sanjeev and Shantanu both mentioned, a challenge comes with opportunities, and that's very important for us to remember. Ashish, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Arun. So you had given a lot of homework for all of us. It's a learning for each one of us, and why each one of us, including working people, every student, please hear this. Each company, they're doing a survey. They wanted to check how many people need to be trained, retrained, reskill of a skill, and it's the count always says more than 50%. So it's nothing like you need to learn, relearn, unlearn. It's those who are working people like us also need to be relearn, unlearn, reskill of a skill. So don't worry. As I said, we are all impacted, we are all affected. So we are all in the same boat. It remind me the statement of Shantanu also about the study and all. In India, I have seen there is a one tendency. We are told to do the engineering, then after that we decide what to study actually. Yeah, but that trend is going to be changed because a lot of entrepreneur, lot of startup, lot of new age industries are coming in. There is a different thought process. Yeah. One of the thing I like to say before I hand over to Sanjeev, from home, and it's not a very easy thing for both of them. It's also difficult. Equally, it will be difficult for the university staff also. It will be very difficult for each one of you who are at home and learning. Yeah, but everybody has to face this and overcome it. Some of us may come fast, some of us will take time. Automation, I posted the question on the automation that how many job it will be replaced. People agree it will be replaced. Yes, data says that 80 million job will be replaced with the automation. It's correct, but data also says that more than 130 million job will be created. Yeah. Okay, so I stop here and I hand over to Sanjeev. So here is the question for Sanjeev. Sanjeev, I did touch upon the work from home point, right? It is COVID has pushed us, all to work from home, virtual learning, and uh, employee engagement, onboarding, exit, everything is happening online. Everything is happening virtually, especially the corporate is concerned. And same thing, almost for university also. All the students they are learning from home. So what advice will you give to our workforce student, including student, I would say, to improve on any kind of communication skills which is more needed so that they are virtually what I can call it, virtual etiquette, because that's more important, Sanjeev, right? Because this trend may go on. Let's assume, this university student going for an internship, correct? I mean, obviously, they are not going to go to office and give the interviews. It will be virtual. It will be on Zoom. It will be on Google, MS Team, and there are many different kind of skill sets required. I was also watching one video, which end of the video that guy just says, "Guy, you need to have a good Wi-Fi to survive in this world." He forget, okay, you can do everything. So student, just ensure you need to have good Wi-Fi. Yeah. Over to Sanjeev. I want you to tell all the students which kind of virtual etiquette needed so that they can successfully clear the internship, successfully clear any kind of interviews if it is online.
Okay, great. No, thanks, Ashish. And Arun, kudos again for building up an amazing base. Just to add to what Arun said, and I will just get into your question right away, Ashish. So, see, being in manufacturing for all these years, honestly speaking, when I was on the softer side of world, that way I used to call it, IT, telecom, and even trading and holding is all computers and numbers, right? But when I'm into manufacturing, and now when I'm seeing the trend, particularly that is going on in our country, courtesy whatever, the economy, the global situation, and whatever it is, I see a huge opportunity for manufacturing as a sector, which is actually, to boom. It has already started. It has already started to show those green shoots. That's number one. The other thing is that my request to the students will be that please keep your options open, because a couple of days ago I was talking to another university, and out there 90% of the students were only saying that they want to go only for IT. Fine, very good. But once again, understand that there is a limit for all sectors to absorb all types of skills. And India has this problem of numbers. If you understand that. We are a lot of us. Yeah. So the proportion in which which all of you are passing out, the numbers of jobs are not being created at that proportion. So each one of you will not have the opportunity to get into the sector that you choose. Yeah. And I have seen a pushback, particularly from out campus engineers as well, a lot of them, to get into sectors which they consider as, somebody made a statement out here, saying about core sector. I assume that it is industry and manufacturing, because the largest bulk recruitment is actually going to happen there. Yeah. So do not shy away from there, because at the end of the day, irrespective of whichever sector you get in, it is your own skill and the way you are able to manage that situation. Your own journey is going to make you successful or not. Having said that, let me come on to you. And very apt point, Ashish, because when we started working from home, formally, it was indeed difficult. for me personally, and I'm sure for quite a few of my colleagues, we were kind of a keen working from home. We knew the tricks of the trade as such. However, it wasn't every day. We still had that little coffee at office and the water cooler talks, and the peer colleague jokes at all as well. I will come to the virtual etiquettes, but those are going to be essentially tips of what to do and not to do. Let me just try to just give an entire perspective to what happens. And thanks, Arun, again to building it on this. Remote working is not easy, and I'm sure my student friends will always will agree with me that campus was much better than sitting in front of the computer. You're still friends, you will still connect on, but however, being present together in a society, end of the day, human beings are social, right? And so therefore that need of the mind to be social, to be able to share, to be able to meet, the need for affiliation, etc., is there in our head. That's how we are, right? Each and every human being is. Therefore, when we are connecting remotely to anybody, where there is a challenge that we are not able to really see each other the way we would have otherwise. So we have to do, and we end up doing a lot of assumptions based on what the person says or how the person reacts to a certain situation. And that leads to creating of perceptions. I have seen a lot of times, including for my organization, where work from home or remote working was absolutely foreign. I mean, they just had to be said, this is your computer, go and sit at home, join this call at this time. And that's how it used to start, right? Now, we had to actually teach managers that, guys, hang on, this is a different ball game. It is not the same way that we used to manage work or deliveries at office. When it comes to remote working or working from home, I think the first thing, and again we have talked about this term all over, is actually communication. The need to the finesse, or the the precision with which we communicate, whichever language it is. Yes, English is the business language of the world, and there is no taking away from it. However, if it means that somebody is a little challenge, because at the end of the day, English is not our native. That is not the language that we speak from birth, right? We learn the language. And India being such a diverse country, and with this situation, your colleague may be sitting in the other part of the country, maybe coming from a very different space of culture, language, including terminologies they use, right? Therefore, it is more important to adopt to very basic professional English. I'm not asking anybody to go and start reading the Renan Martin's grammar. I'm sure in Calcutta we still get it in there. I mean, get that book. In Bombay, I haven't found it of late. But one, what is intended to be communicated, what I want to say, have I been able to say? Most importantly, has the person understood the way it was supposed to be understood? We do the first, we miss out on the second. In case of a remote thing, it is always important, therefore, to also ask the question, is it understood? Is there any question? And as again Arun said and Ashish said, if you have not understood, please raise your hand. There is no harm in saying I have not understood. But if you have not understood and you still say, and something else happens, then you are responsible for it. Empathy. The more we say, the more important it is. Once again, we are saying understanding each other as human beings in a scenario where we are seeing each other on screen, and therefore it is also important that in a virtual setup we are able to see each other on the screen, right? So at least, for example, in my organization and in certain other forums that I am a part of, we have made it mandatory that, guys, please keep your cameras on. Bandwidth can be a challenge. That is the very basic need that has come up now. Actually, there was a FICCI meeting happening the other day at the end of May, and one of the persons actually said, what India needs to import now is actually bandwidth. We don't need the petrol anymore for the next couple of months. But so please ensure that, because it is end of the day a good etiquette. Please have your cameras on. It helps in building up that personal connect, number one. Otherwise, for anybody speaking to the screen, and the black boxes on the screen can be extremely frustrating. In case of communication, as I said, preciseness. So this formula of KISS, keep it short and simple, keep it straight and short. Please practice it. Because remember, each one of us, our mind space, our attention span in front of a screen is actually not more than 40 seconds. Research has proven it as such. So therefore, if you have been able to make an impact within that 40 seconds, I'm sure you would be a much better in getting your work done, rather than just going and explaining the whole damn stuff. Yeah. And the other part of communication that also happens is, we need to be very, very what should I say? The interaction type of it, right? The interaction means both hear and say, not only say or not only hear. So particularly in meetings. So when you guys, I'm sure for the lot of these recruitments, when you guys are actually appearing for the interviews, I'm sure you would go through the model of group discussion. There would be tests, etc. But I'm sure for the entry-level recruitments, the group discussions are still valid. What we would, as recruiter, would want to look, what value, what new thought you are bringing up onto the platform. Most importantly, are you participating or not? Yeah, are you attentive in the conversation or not? Yeah. So essentially these couple of things, and I would want to just leave you with another quick set. So we spoke about VUCA, we spoke about LEAP, we spoke about still a little point in terms of the overall set of competencies, which also looks into the communication part of it very well. And I would call it as space with an extra C. Okay. Once again, this is not something that I am talking. This has been adopted by a few auto organizations. Yeah. Which I came to know a couple of weeks ago, and I found it extremely important. You can just, you can note it down, or I will put it in the chat box as well. So we are calling it SPACE, SPACCE. Okay. So S is storytelling. Now, storytelling is not only telling stories. Yeah. Storytelling is actually being the ability for us to be able to have situations, discrete situations, to make a business decision. Yeah. So couple of events together, and then you come and I say, okay, because of ABC reasons, this is what I think that we should do. Not necessarily, because we have seen in corporate, I'm sure my fellow colleagues will actually say that when we look at a corporate presentation, more important or not, it is a set of very, very highly populated slides, maybe the best of English, but there is, and people end up reading up from the slides. From a communication perspective, everybody is more interested when you are actually talking of incidences, experiences which come together towards the base of your decision. So that is S. P is pattern. While you are looking at, in storytelling, you have to identify, or you are expected to identify situations or events and all. Is any pattern is coming out of it, and there your analytical skills come into play. Are you able to analyze situations? Till very long time, whenever we used to talk of analytical skill, we used to think about how adept you are in Excel, or how can you crunch numbers, can you solve complex equations. Those are important for jobs. I'm not saying taking that away, but is it at a very basic level? Can you identify occurrences to find out, is there a pattern emerging? Yeah. Agility, the LEAP agility still comes in place. We cannot be holding on to think that I think this is right. No, it may be right under a particular situation, but it may not be when the situation just changes a little. The 2 C's is critical thinking and collaboration. Very, very important, because critical thinking is essentially thinking from all aspects, and being prepared for what if a situation goes wrong, and ending with E, empathy. End of the day, It is the humanity. It is the feeling, the fellow feeling, and the feeling towards another human being to be important. So space, I see as I mean, can really create a little turmoil in the classical way that we used to look at competencies. And mind you, organizations have started adopting it. I'm not at privy to talk about this organization. I can't name them, but yes. If it my 2 cents, Ashish. I know I took a little longer.
Yeah, thanks, Sanjeev. I think you had given good nuggets. I just want to share something before I just hand over to Shantanu. So here is the data. Okay, can somebody confirm you're able to see this? Can anybody confirm you're able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So this is the data from internet. Okay, these are the industry which said traffic growth or decline due to COVID. Okay, this is, I think, before 2 month data. There are a lot of changes happen. Yeah. So let's go through quickly. Advertising, agriculture, construction, e-commerce is going up like anything. So some data may be wrong. E-commerce, education going like anything, because anybody can take the education from any place. There are a lot of education tools, application. Online market is booming like anything. Yeah. Energy is down. Then insurance is down. Manufacturing is down. Pharmaceutical is up. Real estate down. Retail is also booming. Yeah. Software, technology, both are booming because every company today is the technology and software company. Yeah. In terms of because they need to do a lot of integration and think from the technology point of view. Transportation, travel, they are down. Which are industries are up? Go for media, go for pharmaceutical, go for finance, food, healthcare, e-commerce, education. So these are the industries. Let me stop this. Okay. Now I come to Shantanu. Shantanu, so last question. This is, we are also closing on time. Shantanu, so while we touch upon the skills, you also touch upon the skills and industries. But I'm asking you a different question now, because we are having a session in university. We are talking to students. We are interacting with them. This is also a challenge for them. Correct? Yeah. So here is the question. Here is the question to you. That do you think, or perhaps let's assume it's everybody thought process. See how much industry, how much this industry, which is the university, which is the education industries, they are really gear up to train and nurture the student virtually, so that they can face this new environment. Which skills university and student need, because if they are not ready, so tomorrow we as an industry will say, we are not getting good material, correct? And we need to join the hand, so that we can say, guys, we will look for this kind of people after 6 months. Because of the COVID, now there is a different situation. University student and entire education industry also need to be reskill and upskill. So what are your views?
Okay, thanks, Ashish. I think it's a very important topic, and I think if we really sum up the points which I think Arun and Sanjeev mentioned, and Ashish, you also touched upon various things. I think the points is which just now Sanjeev mentioned about the way agility, critical thinking, collaboration, empathy, and somewhere we mentioned also, he mentioned about other topics on the etiquettes of virtual presentation, and how do you basically keep your cameras on and maybe not shut it off and start doing Facebook on this thing and things like that, because that's the bad habit. I'm sure students, when they're appearing for the interviews, I don't think that they will do all that. But the point is, what your question is, like what university can do. I think the basic thing is communication. Again, I will touch upon, because that is what we face as an industry. We face a lot of times because when, and I think my earlier panelists, both Arun and Sanjeev mentioned that, what you intend to speak, is it really reaching the audience? Because it is not a question of the language or the English or little bit of grammar here and there, we understand, because not everybody is learned through, your convents and those kind of things. India is a large country, vernacular, this thing, a lot of people, maybe up to 10th, 11th, 12th also would have learned in their own mother tongues. So that's not important. What is important is, am I able to speak my mind? That's the most key important. And I think, okay, universities can do something about it, but I would give more to the student, saying that what is, because all change, I would think, because I have just now become a certified coach from CFI, and what I understand is, you don't change unless you want to change. So university can do something, industry can do something, industry and university can join hands, but the students have to have this thing in them that I need to improve this. And when I mentioned earlier, like maybe joining Toastmaster, that's what you talk about communication. You need to do that. There you need to see how in groups. It is, people should not think that I am trying to advocate or advertise on Toastmaster. If you find a different forum, or student can themselves start certain kind of community activity there, to say that I will create a speaking forum or a debating forum within the campus. That will, so my point is, it has to be an intrinsic need that I need to develop this. And hence, university can sort of be a platform to allow it. Like many schools can have hockey competition, carom competition, chess competition, and things like that. Why can't we, and maybe they have science competition, but can we have debate? Or can you have elocution? Can you have written communication competition? Like, a contemporary thought is given, or as Sanjeev was mentioning, a story is told for 10 minutes. And then say that, what did you pick up? Because we talk about Chinese whispers. A bunch of 10 people, you start with one and you end with something totally different. And that's when I'll tell you my own example now here, even after 30 years of experience. Today, when I've joined a French company, and we had to deal with, France and Portugal and Spain and even in Latam. And my God, different kind of English, because, the same English is talked in such way. Half a time you don't really understand what is being talked. And we talk about our English, sometimes they are not able to understand. I don't think I speak very fast, but even this language, they are not able to understand. Sometimes we use some difficult vocabulary. I'm telling you, some Spanish or some French people are not able to understand that particular English. I'll tell you, one of mine is a chemical company, and I said, this is a byproduct. Somebody just raised their hand. Please, can you explain what is a byproduct? So, what they understand and what they don't understand, you have to really re-clarify. Like, I think in this program itself, I think all three panelists really did cross-check. Am I audible? Am I visible? Now, this is coming from the habit, saying that I think, every time you're doing it. So, my point is, that point of communication is very, very important. Second point is ever-changing skills. Even in IT, my God, in my 30 years, when I started, of course, after my HR, post-MBA HR in L&T Infotech, that times the hot skills, if you remember, all of you have some IT background, this hot skill thing business, it goes from hot to cold in 3 years. And something becomes even hotter. So, some of my IT friends, they say, boss, earlier they used to say only medical MBBS students have to learn lifelong. I think IT has beaten them hollow. And I'm telling you, I think everything, even manufacturing, don't you think manufacturing is changing? It's changing. Today, somebody was talking in the chat box, I was thinking about garage mechanics. I just 3 days ago I researched that 1 crore garage mechanic is going to be defunct. Why? Because your mechanical engine is going to stop and it is all electrical. So all these guys who used to do carburetor and this, they will just be lost unless they pick up quickly, which is very difficult again because the all engines is going to be some chip based. There will be motherboards and there will be what they call it. I heard two technology, two word. I don't know the full form. There's an ECM board and PCM board. I don't know what are they, but it seems those boards will be there in the cars, and those boards are the sort of the heart of the car. So all these mechanics. So the mechanic, it's a WhatsApp joke, and the mechanic said, "Sab carburetor to रहेगा, वो तो ठीक कर लेगा." I think all of you understand Hindi. I said, no, boss, carburetor nahi rahega because it's an electrical thing and carburetor will be off. So what will you do? The point is, unless we reskill continually, I am not telling that something, what you students are going to get out in, let's say, 2021, 22, whatever, and you are going to retire in, let's say, 2050, I am sure what you are going to get out from the college, and at the time you retire, I can't even imagine that what skills will be. I can only think about again the Star Wars movie when I was a student, and today I see that those are the reality today. There was a little computer working tuck 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 tuck, a circular cylindrical boy, and today that's the thing. When suddenly this COVID came in, we saw Chinese hospitals with those kind of robotics. So that's become the thing, and today I think today's now current age students are really marvelous, because I immediately saw some IIT in Chennai. They have already taken out that robotics. So things are happening. Some of the hospitals are given those. So I'm sure universities can facilitate on these kind of changing platforms and allow the students, and the students they themselves can drive so many things. And I'm sure all industry will be eager to hold hand with the university to support this kind of changes, be it on the communication front, be it on the technology front, being on the new age things front, being on any R&D that the industry is working on, and they sort of give it to the industry, give it to the university, saying that can we co-work on this? There are many examples that kind of thing is happening. Where industry and university is working on some real new age topics on technology, on manufacturing. Thanks. I think with that point, over to you, Ashish.
Thank you, Shantanu. So university and student, yes, a lot of input. Many of them are workable, and nothing is rocket science, guys. We can all brush up. Each one of, as I said again, I'm saying each one of us are impacted and affected party. Each one of us need to reskill, upskill rapidly. Okay, so let's take some question. We are already 8 minutes ahead of the time, but yes, let's take 2 questions maximum. We can go up to 12:15. Yeah. I'm not sure whether they can come on the screen and ask the question or they can type in the chat box. Manoj, what is the process we can follow?
Sir, students can write in the chat box.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, please type your question. So first question coming from Pinaki Mohanty. My question is to Arun sir, that your accent is just wow. Arun, great compliment to you. Is this real accent to you develop or later or as a HR person? Okay, so question is out of the scope, but Arun, quickly in 60 seconds answer it. From where did you learn this?
Okay, never thought about my accent actually at the time of speaking. But then what is important, I think the other speakers have also said that it's business English which is important. You can always have mother tongue influences, or you can learn, etc. But then I never consciously worked on it.
Great, Pinaki, you got the answer. Anyone else like to ask the question? We can. So that's very quick answer. Let me pick up if somebody has posted the earlier question. Technical sector, what is your expectation? Okay, There was a question from Rishikesh, what are the expectations? So we did mention what are the expectations from a candidate, whether expectation high or low. It's not question of high or low, it's question of expectation should be correct. The things which we are providing should be, so what it should be demonstrated. That's what you need to learn, nothing else. Technical knowledge is always number one thing. Yeah, in the IT, from IT, so that's what I did mention.
Ashish, I think there's a question from Adil Khan saying that what skills does the leader seek in his fresher? Can I just take a pitch at it?
What skill does leader? Yeah, just please, yeah, take it in just 1 to 2 minutes. Yeah, please. Thanks.
Openness of thoughts, come up with values. Come up with solutions and question. Just don't say yes. At least I, for one, in my team and in my HR team, if I stay a little away from my yes men of sorts, because the main thing, I'm sure, and my panelists will agree, that as a fresher, the intent of taking a fresher is to infuse new thoughts, new bloods, new idea, new energy in the system. Right? It does not mean to status quo, to continue with the status quo, and much more, and definitely which is an absolute need in the current situation. So therefore, have your minds open. Yeah, put up your thoughts, ask questions. No question is silly or foolish. If you have the question, you have all the right to ask, and you better ask it. Yeah, and definitely add value to the process.
Great. So those are the skills. Before I forget, I will go to the next question. Before I forget, I wanted to share something. Okay, I also forget. I will come back. There is a question. No, Sanjeev already written this. So Anudeep is saying something. I too have a question. Despite the pandemic, we are staying at home for a month. I came to see talking more about network marketing, graphic designing, how this two platform will show the impact on us. So question to each one of you, answer in just 60 seconds. What is the future of network marketing and graphic designing?
See, I do see these are all the newer job openings that are coming up. Traditional marketing has actually got hit, right? So a lot of the digital platforms being used, which will need a very different way to market a product. I mean, we are a B2B organization into manufacturing, into a recycled rubber is my main product, if I may. We have to. I mean, we have adopted to reach out to actually extend our reach. Till the last year, we did not want to invest in digital marketing or things like these, but with with the change, and once we did it, we really did see the benefit of it. So these are new fields. Anybody interested can take up. Do not, again, I will keep repeating, do not hold on ki marketing to aisa hi hota hai. This is the way marketing happens, or whatever new comes on your way, do your research. If you are interested, go for it.
Great. So that was answer from Sanjeev. Yes, so I too feel network marketing. See, everything is going online and virtually. So network marketing, will also go like this. Graphic designing is more of backend job, and you can do a lot of creativity you can use. So it will continue to do like this. There are many more things which will just happen on the screen. So are you the guy who can make a screen more interactive with the graphics and designing? Yes. So there are a lot of scope. Okay, what I forget, I just want to share, guys, all the student and university, there is a message that there will be less full-time job in the future. There will be a most of part-time job, most of freelancer job. The name which is given to this kind of job is gig economy, gig workforce. So please be ready for this kind of job also. You can take more than one job at a time. Don't go for a big brand. Don't go for a 9-to-5 job, because those kind of job will be very less in coming time. May not be immediately, but perhaps in 2 to 3 years that will happen, or it may happen faster. Yeah. So for that you need to have a different kind of skills. You don't need to work 9 to 5. You can decide how you want to work, right? I take the last question now. Okay, there are more questions posted, so let me take, because we already talked about the skills and also I will skip that. What Actually, company look for fresher. So we did talk about in the entire conversation. No, so let's have a closing remark. Okay, quickly in the 90-second. Start from Shantanu.
Thanks, Ashish. I think as a closing remark, what I will say is that, again, going back to my earlier sentence, as I said, you are the limit. These are the youngsters. So there is no boundaries because you may be coming out today as an engineer because doctor said that, this is a campus of engineers, MBAs, and various skills. So you might come out as engineer, but you might succeed at something different because today all we know that US, many companies, not Indian companies, many companies, global companies are being led by some IITians, some IIMs, and things like that, and various, very many Indians. My point is, you might come out. This one guy was leading City Cards, who was an Indian. So, no matter what you come out with, but as Sanjeev said that, what is your interest? Follow your interest. You are the limit, and you can change. I came out as an engineer, and today I'm an HR person. So, you don't have to just focus on what you learn. What you are going to learn and what you are going to experiment with will settle your path. That's all is my point. Wish you all the best.
Over to you, Sanjeev.
Yeah, okay. All the best, guys. My fellow panelists have already actually said, but once again, I will repeat and I keep on repeating it. Open thoughts, open minds, use your knowledge and implement it. Sachin Tendulkar would not have been Sachin Tendulkar only with the talent he went ahead and played. Yeah, and if you remember the story, that in his first tournament in West Indies, yep, I think he was 17 or 17 and a half that time, going to open with Navjot Sidhu. And Navjot Sidhu wanted him to take the strike, but he didn't. So the first over, Sidhu actually kind of ducked it. When the strike went to Sachin, Sidhu had told Sachin that, look, the ball, these guys are throwing bouncers at us, and the ball is behaving very differently after it hits the ground. First ball, Sachin faces, I think, of Garner. The ball goes for a 4. Why? Because Sachin did not let the ball fall on the ground. He went ahead, took on his front foot, and before it hit the ball, hit the pitch, he pushed it out for a 4. That is the spirit, guys, and you guys have it. Just do it. Don't get intimidated with the situation. Yeah, there are plenty and more of opportunities. All yours. Thanks.
Great, Sanjeev. Thank you so much. Arun, over to you.
Hey, thanks, Ashish, and guys, all the very best, and then have a great time ahead to all of you, all the students who are taking part. So Shantanu and Sanjeev has that we are. I think we should focus on the current days, what exactly we are doing. Somebody said that the goal is important in life, but then more than the goal, if you more trust on the journey itself, right, the path itself, what you are doing today, the process, the system, the investments that you're doing in terms of your time towards your education, towards learning new things, learning the things that you're supposed to learn, that will be more important. Because goal, in my view, is always not going to be a differentiator. Mumbai Indians and Kolkata Knight Riders can have the same goal, but then probably the differentiating factor is not the goal. The goal is that the preparation. So very important for you, because the first boy and the last boy of the class also can have the same goal. But yeah, most important is to believe in the path where you are today. Do your best. Give your best effort.
Yes, journey is most important, Arun, and it reminds me of Ericsson report, the link which I shared, where it is mentioned AI is the journey, not the destination. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, all three of you, Shantanu, Sanjeev, Arun. Some of the point I can share now, which are already included, or some of them may be new. Be adaptable, flexible to fight to and face the uncertainty with future, where there are more challenges and you need to overcome. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. Remind me of Shiv Kara's statement also, winner don't do different things. They do things differently. So out of the box thing has to be there, but don't forget the basic. Treat people as a human. In tomorrow's scenario, all the student, we need to create more human out of the human, because there will be so many machines. Yeah, please remember that, emotional intelligence and all this, intelligence, the emotion will take care. Cultural intelligence, social intelligence, diversity need to be looked into. Communicate to listen, hear, and storytelling, like, some of you already touched upon. Stick to time management, because everybody is working like haywire. If you have good time management and schedule, you will follow what you want to do. Forget about health and mental. It's not going to have an impact. In today's scenario, always have a plan, C or D. Forget about B. Yeah. So that's how we need to prepare ourselves. Leadership skills, collaboration always work. In the virtual, what we are talking about, see, in the virtual, on the screen, we can see at a time 16 people together. And when you talk, you can see yourself. So it's very easy to improve your personality, communication style when you talk. So take this as an opportunity when we talk about the virtual. You don't need anyone to train. In the earlier days, I remember when trainer was there in the personality development, he used to record and show you the video. And these things today at no cost, you have it right now. It's there in your mobile as well. You don't need to go to your Zoom. Yeah. Reset the priority, reboot, go back to drawing board and understand what is most important. Many of us have changed our financial priorities, social priorities. Look at what are those. Virtual etiquettes is very much important. Digital quotient, which is the taking care, big thing. Tomorrow you need to work with different kind of team, various different kind of team, because virtually you will be working with anyone you don't know. Correct? So how you actually build up those kind of skills is also important. Not meeting somebody personally, but can you really build up a good relationship? Stop doubting yourself, guys. Future is ahead. India is always growing. India, China, and some more countries, only they are having a good GDP. Otherwise, rest of the countries worldwide, they are always struggling. Okay, I will pause here. I had more to share, but considering the time, I will pause here and hand over to now University, Doctor, and Manoj. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Now we are the last part of the session. Good afternoon to all of you. Nice conversation from all the panelists. It's really a wonderful learning session. Thank you very much to Ashish sir, Arun sir, Shantanu sir, and Sanjeev sir. We missed out Sitaram sir. For taking out your valuable times and did a nice deliverance. All of you enlightened upon values, ethics, qualities of leadership, and communication skill to achieve one's long-term goals, and how to blend technology, skill, and attitude to become a well-bred man. You cited the booming sectors which provides jobs to our students, and the latest job skills and competencies to be developed to be in good companies, and the need of the reskilling. And we accept your suggestions to work with companies in different collaborative forums. We are doing that, and hope all of us will drive home with today's insightful thoughts. Thanks to have the great audience, students, deans, head of the departments, faculty members, and our registrars, sir. Thanks to Sanjay and TNP colleagues for lovely coordination. Again, thanks to all the panelists for making a complex stuff sound easier to understand. Looking forward for more or similar ones. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ashish sir. Thank you, Shantanu sir and Sanjeev sir, Arun sir.
Thanks, Manoj, Sanjay. And without fourth speaker, we spent too much time,
Yes,
and we had a lot to share. I'm sure speaker can talk and talk.
Yes, sir.
Student can hear and hear. But yes, as you said, when COVID is over, we would love to your campus and meet the student, spend more time. Thank you so much,
Please,
both
sir.
the doctor and Sanjay. Sanjay, great effort. Thanks for making it happen. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye bye.